Before we get into it, we want to give a quick shout out to this episode's sponsor, Tupi Handcrafted Dumplings.
They're the real deal.
They make everything from scratch, by hand, fresh every single week.
Talagang no shortcuts.
Just solid, honest food na sobrang flavorful.
Alam niyo yung best part?
Each dumpling comes with its own special sauce. Talagang legit curated.
If di nyo pa nasusubukan, check them out on Instagram and Facebook at tupi.dumpling.
Sobrang perfect for your next get-together, inuman, or kapag gusto mo lang ng comfort food na hindi tinipid.
And we got a promo code. Just include and mention Sour Taste 5 when you order to get a 5% discount on any regular priced items.
Now let's get into the pot.
With our special guest. Good conversation. Get to know other people, what they do with their lives.
It's called Sour Taste. It's nice to say, it's nice to hear. It's nice to see.
The Sour Taste Podcast.
It's gonna blow your mind, boy.
Like drip with the off-whites. Line shit good like it's so nice. Now I'm sipping gin cause I hate wine. And I got the juice but it ain't mine. Yeah, I ain't lying. She got me so
Welcome
high.
to the
I
Sour
gotta be
Taste
mine.
Podcast. Podcast.
Hello. Very good night.
This is cool.
Video. Yeah, I got a film cam.
Damn. That's like blast from the past.
Classic.
So these are in right now.
They're very in.
Right?
Yeah.
My youngest is 18.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be 19 tomorrow. And yeah, he brings around Digicam. Not film naman, but
Digicam
you
went back, came back.
90s or early 2000 Digicams. Considering he has an iPhone, but it's not.
It has that different feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you take a
There's
photo,
a filter of some
it
sort.
reminds you of the past and nostalgia for some reason that
Yeah.
iPhones can't really
They're too
copy.
clear. They're almost,
too
it's just
clear.
8K, 4K, 8, you know,
Yep,
yeah, it's
correct.
too real. It's like, gotta put a filter on that crap.
Yeah.
That's just too harsh.
You just want to be different, I guess. Yeah.
I even noticed, like, with Gen Zs, they take pictures with their iPhones.
Blurry.
Yeah.
She's shaking
Yeah.
around.
I said, what the hell are you doing? You know how much money I used to spend on stabilization before? And there you kids are going like that. It's just that's
so
just the way
funny.
it is. It's
Yeah,
always
yeah.
whatever you don't have, you want. No?
Yep. That's your youngest?
That's just generally Gen Z. I know this. My youngest, he's into photography, but
Okay.
he's colorblind. I hope this is part's not going to be aired.
Oh, he's
Yeah, no, but he's
colorblind?
very into photography. But you see,
okay.
he's colorblind.
Okay.
Both boys are colorblind.
Is that a genetic thing? Or
You know,
coincidence?
I've not really studied it, but I think it is. But the weirdest part was I got I don't even believe in this stuff. But before I got married, I went to this fortune teller. My mom just forced me to like, come on, go. She's really good, whatever. And I was like, just to please her, I went.
Yeah.
And one of the things she told me, she said, and I was 21 at the time. So I was like 21, 22 at the latest. I was 22 years old. And because it was even before I got married.
Yeah.
So she told me, she said, you are going to be moving, like moving state. And then she wrote in her paper, like she's just writing things and finding the voices come
spirits
yeah,
or
whatever it is,
whatever,
right? Yeah. And she's writing, and she writes Brisbane. And dude, we were really going to Brisbane. And I was like, okay, well, maybe my mom told her.
Maybe
my mom,
lucky.
No, yeah, lucky, or my mom slipped it in. It's like, here, I'll set him up, you know. So I was like, okay, I was pretty impressed with that, but okay, maybe lucky guess, maybe my mom said it. Then she goes, you're going to have 2, maybe 3 kids, but definitely 2 boys.
Ooh, okay.
I was like, okay,
let's see.
I'm 21 years old. That's far down the aisle. She's just making. But watch your eyes. Watch your eyes. There's something wrong with their eyes. I was like, wow, both boys born colorblind, and my boy he's got.
LASIK?
Alex got no, not LASIK. It's astigmatism, but pretty severe.
Okay.
So she was right, right? And she said you're gonna have kids either at when you're 24, your first, or 26.
Okay.
I'll suggest 26 if you can, you know, be aware of it.
Yeah.
26, because you're moving overseas in between. Holy crap! We moved to the Philippines, and that was left field. Nobody knew that. I didn't know that. My mom didn't know that. Nobody knew that. That was just not on the cards for me. I was happy there in Australia. I had my life. I had everything, and she was like, "No, you're moving overseas. You're going to be relocating." And I was like, "Okay." Boom! I had my first kid, 26.
Whoa.
And I was
That's
in the
pretty
Philippines.
accurate.
I know, right? I know. And then she even said to me, "You watch your words. Your words carry a lot of weight." I said, "What do you mean?"
Okay.
And I didn't even. Boom!
Yeah.
I ended up being a writer.
Yeah.
Or maybe this is like what did they
Placebo
call it?
effect,
Placebo,
like,
or
26,000.
no? What's the other term? When you fulfill.
Manifest.
Oh no. Love, help me out here. Fulfilling prophecy, self-fulfilling prophecy. No, but still, no. I mean, dude, I would have taken any job. I didn't look for the writing job. I was like, I was on radio, which maybe also had words. I don't know, but it was FM. It wasn't like hard-hitting AM radio. It was just, and then I left that because it didn't have enough. It wasn't enough to support a family. So then. I just ended up writing. It was so far out of my. I never finished. I never studied it for it. I never thought I could write. And then, so she was pretty accurate.
Spot on.
She said a lot more things, but those things up to now, 30 plus years later, still stick hard in my head.
Are you a
So that was
believer?
from.
Are you a believer of the fortune-telling mystical?
Not in general, like it hasn't.
But there's some.
But that one, come on, man. That one is really freaky. Really freaky. So I don't know what her thing is. She said it's religion. It's like part of Catholic thing. It's not like she calls in your spirits and your guides.
Okay.
But I never went to one after. But that was my only experience. And it was pretty spot on.
That was in Australia? Whoa.
Yeah, well, I was living there.
Interesting.
Why'd your mom tell you to go? Was there a specific reason, like guidance for you're 21? This is gonna help you, like
Yeah, my mom just
give you
loves
some
that
direction.
stuff. My mom just
mom loves that
she
stuff.
just loves that the hopium we call it,
The
hopium. Anyone that gives her hope like that just says, you're gonna be rich, you're gonna be this.
You get addicted to it.
Yeah, she's like, but she loves that stuff. So she's actually the easiest person to con if you read that side of her, because she just wants to hear it so bad. She just wanted kasama and all that. And she did that to me, and she dragged my brother in. And my brother had the same, I can't remember his exact.
But he had the same
He
experience.
had the same experience. Like he said, up to now, there are things that are still coming true. And one of the things, remember, this is 1994 or something, right? That I went. And she said to him, you're going to, she said, you have more than one guardian angel. And she said something about one of them is the Virgin Mary or something to do with our Mama Mary, no? That's like a very special one for you and all that. And my brother's not religious. He wasn't religious then anyway. And she said, you're going to marry somebody, a girl, her name begins with an M. Dude,
That's pretty.
his wife's Monica, right? What? Yeah.
That's so specific.
It's so specific, right? Initial. And then he goes to the outback in Australia, and that's where he was working in this pub. Right? It was the harshest part of Australia. This is like, I mean, they always say Australians are like gritty and tough and rough. This is like the ground zero for that. I mean, it's isolated. National sport is drinking. It's really it's violent, because they get drunk and they fight. That's part of their culture. It's just they love to fight. And he was in this bar. He was managing this bar, and there was a fight. Like there's always a fight, and he got trapped outside the bar. So somehow when they shut the doors, he was left outside, and then they came for him like that, and he was like. He was surrounded, and they were ready. He said, "This is it. I'm dead. I'm dead." Because they were. I hate to use the words, but some of them were savages. Really savages. We're talking isolated, nothing out there. That's all they do. Drink, and when you kick them out of the bar, yes, they'll kill or die for that, right? And so they closed in on him, and he was like, "This is it. This is it. Well, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to take as many with me." And he's a pretty big guy, but these are also big guys, Australia. And he said, if I'm going down, I'm going to go down with me. And he went, and he had a baton that he used to always carry. It was one that you flick out.
Yeah. The one that
Yeah. So with that space age tech, whatever, metal would break legs and stuff. So he said, that's it. I'm going down. I'm going to take as many out with me. Yeah. And he shoved his hand into the pocket where he has the thing, and it wasn't there.
What?
And he said the first time he went on duty, his bar wasn't there. But you know what was in there? His rosary. He had a rosary in his hand like that. And just when he realized, oh my God, I got nothing. I mean, like,
I got this.
I got this, And a hand came in, grabbed him by the hair, and pulled him because he was back against the door. And another, like the bouncer, realized opened the door, grabbed him, pulled him in, and then that's pretty much, he said, saved his life.
Oh my God!
And I know, lucky, and again, that girl said guardian angel, something to do with Mary, and he didn't norm, but freaky.
So it was just you and your brother that got that so-called hula.
Yeah. Just
have you ever went back?
No, never. And I've always wanted to oh my God, shit,
Here are my children. Can you tell them
my future? I love children. Here are the lottery numbers. Can you just circle which ones you feel are the correct ones?
10 combinations.
What made you move to Australia? You were born here, right?
Yeah, I was born here and raised here till about 14, and then my mom was a single mom. So when my parents split up. 1986 was a pretty troubling time here. That was the whole upheaval and all that. So my mom's family had already migrated fully. So she was she was the last, and they're a family of 10. So they were come on, come over. That's no place to raise kids. That mentality. They're already in a first world country, and then they're, come on, it's much better here, and you'll be near family and all that. So she caved into that pressure, realizing that, okay, all my family's over there, and they sponsored her, so she moved over and took us. So that's how we ended up there. And that was just as tough. It was just as tough. I mean, in fact, I think it was even a little bit tougher because in Australia, you kind of, your lives are, you're very busy. You're busy with day to day. Yeah. Not just your job, it's your laundry, your housekeeping.
Help
is not affordable.
Yeah.
So you even though you had a lot of family, you see each other at the most once a week if you're lucky, if you're really lucky. Yeah. The rest of the time you're just doing your own thing. So we learned. It was a learning curve for all of us because we came from, we weren't wealthy here, but we had help. That doesn't make you necessarily wealthy here, but
true.
When you go there and that's all of a sudden you gotta do everything yourself.
I gotta wash the dishes. I gotta fold my own clothes. I hate folding.
At 14, did you like that move, or if you had the choice, would you stay? Or 14?
In hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, I'm glad it happened because I've always felt that the Philippines gave me and gives everybody that opportunity. You mature a lot faster here in many ways, certain ways. Socially, for example, I think you see a 14-year-old kid here, especially in my time. I mean, I know this thing's changed a little bit, but I noticed that when you see a 14-year-old here, they're more adaptable, social. They're not terrified of adults. They're used to mingling. They're used to big families. They're not just buried in their little gadgets or whatever. True. So we matured faster in that regard. But then there's a period where they start to catch up and overtake us because they learn responsibility earlier than us, right? So they're washing their clothes, they're washing the dishes, they're doing chores, they're learning how life works. There's a different work ethic there. So I'm glad I had that best of both worlds. Good foundation here, formative years, but then I learned responsibility, I learned work ethic, I learned timeliness, we're non-Filipino time there, things like that. So if you can get the best of both worlds, that's ideal. But this is still home for me. So while I don't regret it in hindsight, and I'm glad that I had that experience there and exposure, this is home. This is where the heart is.
Okay. No Australian blood, but
no Australian blood.
In your personality or who James is, what's Australian about you? Any traits or
Well,
Maybe Australian accent.
yeah, give me that B, mate.
Is that your Australian accent?
Well, I can put it on, but I don't. I somehow think it's more of an exaggerated accent because if you just copy it, when you're mimicking or something like that to another country, you would exaggerate it.
Yeah.
So I mean, if I did this in Australia, I'd probably get punched in the mouth. Well, I sound like that, you bloody.
I was asking because I have friends who live in Australia. They come back to the Philippines, and then I tell them, talk to me in Australian, like in your Australian accent. They're like, I don't want to. I'm shy.
what they have.
But they can turn it on and off. So maybe is that really your Australian accent?
Well, I never really had an Australian accent, but I noticed that if I go there and spend more than like a week or two, I start the
twang.
R's start to get softer. Like instead of a car, it's a ka. And then you just start those certain things get a little bit then you start to shorten words because they're very much into that. Like they talk almost in code. Like if you're gonna ask somebody like, are we going to Macca's for brekkie? I'm like, what the hell was that? Do you come with subtitles? You should.
But I do know it's McDonald's, right?
For breakfast, yeah. I'll see you this Arvo. This Arvo? It's afternoon, yeah. So things like that, you end up not picking up. But what's Australian about me? I guess pretty laid back. Maybe that, because they are known to be quite laid back. But now I see a big change there. I don't see it the same way as when I was growing up. I think they're getting very socialist over there. They're starting to become very woke.
Yeah.
And that was so not Australian. I mean, those guys they were the most politically incorrect people. And that's always part of their charm, you know? They would call a spade a bloody dirty shovel. That's an actual saying there. Because in the Western countries say, call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
They call a spade a bloody dirty shovel, which is, that's really what it is. Yeah. Now they're like, it's almost like they're scared of their own shadow when you talk to them because they're just so, I think the U.S. exported the wokeness and because they're smaller and easier to control and they're doing well, that's breeding ground for wokeness to come in. Because wokeness can only survive when you don't have real world problems. You make up shit. Right?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's why wokeness don't work here, buddy.
We got bigger problems.
Yeah, you want to be talking about pronouns and somebody's like, I want food, dude. Ang ng pronouns mo dyan.
Exactly.
That doesn't matter here. But
It doesn't. It's
still
creeping
here.
in.
Yeah, it's creeping in. I see it there.
I mean, there's somewhat of influence, but I guess it's not the main.
But
people talk about it. But
that's where it starts.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
That's why I feel very, sometimes to the point where I know I'm being annoying, but I'm vigilant about this because I've seen it. I've grown up in different countries and I've seen that slippery slope. It happens fast.
Yeah.
1 minute you're like, oh come on, just give them the pronoun. What you ain't gonna
Just
hurt.
give it to them.
Yeah, give it to them, and then next thing you know, you're in court because you failed
said
to say
something,
Yeah,
or
and you're like, what the hell did I do? You failed to sign me pronoun, mate. Jesus, So I'm very protective over that, and I get into a lot of trouble sometimes over that because I just think slippery slope.
Because your words have weight. Also.
Yeah, they do, especially on online. It can get really toxic sometimes. But I don't know. I just can't sit by and just sort of watch
it happen.
No, because I see that's what they're hoping for. You let it go. You let it go, and then before you know it,
that's the world.
It's legislated.
Yeah.
Like, how did we get here?
Yeah, you're known to be very opinionated on certain things. People wait and look out for that from you. So we were talking about woke. When that became a big thing, woke, cancel culture, what can you say about that? Like,
Oh,
do you
jeez,
agree,
man.
or like
I got a PhD in that. I was like, especially like during the pandemic, I was letting the joke was I was getting canceled every day and twice on Sundays, Because the pandemic was at one extreme, but how do I feel about it? I think it's just, it's bound to happen because you've democratized voices, right? So now everybody's speaking and everybody wants, when you build, I think also my trajectory, I had built up mostly in the offline world. So when I had built up my following or it was through magazines. This was through real world print and old school stuff, television, newspaper, etc. Then online came in.
Yeah.
So you build a relationship with people, and then later on, well, what you change, people change, times change, whatever. And then if you stop speaking for them, they get very upset. It's like, because they feel like they have some ownership or stock in your life. And so, if you slightly stray a little away and you're like talking about things they don't want, they're like, how dare you? This is a betrayal.
You betrayed it. Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I mean, there's 1,000,001 of you right now on Facebook. I can't pander to everybody. Yeah. But yeah, there's a certain level of, ownership they feel over you in a way. And it was explained to me by somebody years ahead of me in the media who said, after one of my famous cancellations, he stopped me, how you doing, man? I was like, I'm used to it by now. But he goes, just remember that your fame or celebrity is not yours. It's something that's given to you, bestowed upon you by the public.
Yeah.
And what they give, they can take away. So this is what you have to understand about fame. It's not yours to own. It's lent to you temporarily by these people. So that's why they feel that sense of...
They have ownership.
And then it changed my perspective. I thought, he's right. He's right.
Yeah.
It's something that it's par for the course. It comes with it. And then you have to understand that you are not that. That is something that was bestowed on you. And you just have to sort of like, okay, if I can't please everyone, I'll just speak my mind. I'll speak for myself. I'm sorry if it offends you. That's not my plan. But, taking offense is also a choice. Like Ricky Gervais explains it beautifully. It's like it's not offensive. You took offense to it. Yeah. Because I could say one thing, you might be offended, and you might not. So how do you say the thing I said was offensive? No, it's how you interpreted it. Yeah. So, but we all got very, I guess, sensitive online because everybody, we've got that spotlight effect on us. We always think we're the center of the social media universe, and I don't like cancel culture at all. I think it's pathetic.
Yeah, that's true.
How do you deal with it? Like, does it affect you on a daily basis?
No.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
But the timing is pretty incredible because on the way here, literally on the way here, I just realized that's why Rox is here also on her phone checking. I got banned from Facebook. Like literally.
Oh, what?
Yes, I know, right?
Why and how?
I don't know.
Ban means your page was taken down?
Thankfully, it's not the public page for once.
Yeah.
Thank God, because it's normally that. It's my private page or my personal page, which is linked to the public page. So I can't access my public page, but the page is not down because I have administrators as well.
Who can access it?
Who can access it? But I cannot access my own page because it's my personal account.
Personal account got taken down.
I don't even use my personal account. I don't post there. I don't use it.
And for some reason, you're banned.
And my brother, because I started getting calls like, dude, what's up with your Facebook? I was like, why? What did I do now? Dude, I'm driving here. Relax. And he's like, no, you're like all of your messages, like I'm going back all years. It's every message is taken out of the family groups, everything.
Like on Messenger,
you see this user has violated the whatever.
What?
Kulang lang, he's a piece of scum. Son of a... No, seriously, it's like on that thing. All my nephews and nieces can see it. My kids can see it. It's like, wait, Dad, do it now. And they're like, Dad, what'd you do again? I'm saying, nothing.
No theory.
I'm just driving. I'm doing. Wait, maybe they're punishing me for what I'm going to say on the podcast later. Maybe they know already, But seriously, the timing is really pathetic. I mean, incredible because they just, boom, I'm out of Messenger completely. Can't log in.
Contact anyone.
Can't contact in. And when they go to my thing, they'll see that they can't contact me. So a lot of people are probably going to think I blocked them, which is...
So it's not a hack. No one hacked you. Facebook, Meta, did something.
They eventually sent... I was going through every notification. There's a notification saying that this account, which is linked to your account, okay, this is how they explain it, right? This Instagram account, which is linked to your Facebook account, did some serious shit, right? We violated some shit. Therefore, we're going to cancel your Facebook account. It's like, why don't you cancel that? I don't even know who this Instagram account that you're talking about. I swear. I don't know who that is. I don't know the username. No, I have no idea.
So
But
that person reported you.
I had no idea. It's just no. It's here. It's like,
Yo, Meta, you better get James's Facebook back.
oh my God, it's all right. So if your account's been disabled, if you have any concerns,
I do have concerns.
Belat Kulala. All right, so here, your Facebook account was suspended because your Instagram account, Benjamin Juliana,
You don't know.
I have no idea. And then
With a lot of numbers.
with a lot of numbers, doesn't follow our rules. You have 180 days left to appeal. So I'm like,
Sketchy.
I have no idea what that is. But it just, I guess I'm a little calm, well, a lot calmer now because I've been through this over and over and over again. And I'll never forget the first few times it happens. It rocks your world.
That's why I'm so surprised you have this problem. Like, he came here, like, yeah, it seemed like he had a good day. James is
it's
just came from
another
dinner.
day in your life.
It seemed
I
my
guess.
family seemed to be more worried about it than I
Yeah.
am. But I'm like, guys, this is something that, I mean, once you go through it a few times, like in the pandemic especially, that was the hardest part because in the pandemic,
Everyone's on their phones.
one, everybody was on their phones. Two, I was rug pulled. So I came from my entire,
What?
your whole world. I mean, I had CNN closed, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, you can't be nothing. There's no
Yeah.
show, right? So they closed. So I was out. Hosting, there's nothing, right? No events. So it was just literally social media. That was all. That was
Yeah.
it. That was my entire income that I had to support 3 kids with. And I had so many, business expenses and running expenses and stuff like that. And all of a sudden it's like, okay, I have to just have one stream now. And then they pulled that stream. They just like rug pulled me like that and said, for asking if I think that first one was when I asked if natural immunity acts as good as a vaccine. Apparently you weren't supposed to say that, right? Now,
Really?
Yeah, well, now it's common knowledge. Well, actually, no, it was common knowledge before, and it's common knowledge now, but there was a certain period in time where you just
one-
couldn't say that. You just
No
could
one
not say
accepted it.
No. They were just, all of those people were, and it came out, right? And all the trials that Mark Zuckerberg did eventually say, no, it was the FBI that leaned on him and the government that leaned on him and said, you got to do this. So I really was a victim of that because that was in my entire income. After you go through that a few times, you're like, okay. One, it teaches you many things. One is this social media is, well, it's not a world you want to build on, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not yours. Like the thing is, the irony was I left a magazine, a very good magazine. That was my start in this career. I saw the world with that magazine. I drove the best cars. I lived a great life with that magazine. And I made a very painful decision to leave that magazine. And the only reason I did that, the absolute only reason, because everything else I loved, the people, the job, everything. It was just because it was the medium. It was a sunset period on print.
Yeah.
And the other side was, well, I am the only non-owner there. So I could sort of see my glass ceiling was, okay, that's where how do you go over the owners?
surpass.
Right?
What
Exactly.
magazine is this?
This was C Magazine.
Magazine.
This is how it all started. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't blame them. They're owners, and I wasn't. That's cool. But then you got to make that decision. It's like, well, if I can't see myself going any higher than I already am, and then I can also see a sunset period for this industry, or at least this medium, I made the very painful decision to go and build my own brand.
Gotta shift.
But it was like, okay, I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not that. Because
that easy.
Mark Zuckerberg's now your boss, and he's fickle, right? So, because they can pull. Like with C Magazine, they'd have to give me due process. They'd have to, there are laws. Like you can't just rug pull your employee. You just can't fire them without a reason. Whereas Zuckerberg or social media, it's just sorry. Terms and conditions,
Yeah.
community guidelines.
You accepted the terms
Yeah,
and conditions.
exactly.
You didn't read the fine print.
You didn't.
Sorry.
Long ass text. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how I was like, oh my God, the awakening was, but it changed me. It really changed me because it's such a sobering experience to find out how vulnerable you can be. You really are. I didn't really see it coming. In hindsight, I should have, but I didn't. I was like thinking, this is it. This is the way it's going to be for the rest of the, And it's still a permission-based job.
Yeah.
Right? That you need to be at his pleasure and his. And if you upset any of the people there, you're out. So that's when I started thinking, okay, you got to build outside of this. You really cannot rely 100% on that. So that's why I doubled down also on my offline activities and stuff like that, because I cannot go through life feeling that vulnerable anymore.
It can just be taken away from you anytime. But hey, back then, I would recall that you're kind of like the Tulfo of traffic, basically.
I've heard that.
That people would like, hey, James, this happened.
Isumbong mo kay James.
Yeah. And like, in my head, like, what can James do?
I know, right?
Right? What would you reply? Like, okay, sure, noted.
Well, yeah, I had people. I had help. A lot of people would be going through the page and giving. I would show them how to respond. Okay, this is how you
You engage with these people.
Yes, because I can't read all of them, but if it's a juicy one, let me know because
Story-worthy.
yeah. I mean, but I couldn't post, of course, everyone because then you'd get desensitized.
Yeah.
So I had to monitor how much you showed.
True.
Otherwise, people just tune out. And I really wanted to use that as a platform to educate. And I think the best compliment I got from somebody, more than one person, but when I got it, I was thinking, that's it. That's exactly what I was looking for. When the guy said to me, the other day I was driving, I was going to make this illegal U-turn or counterflow or whatever it was. And then I was about to do it. I said, uy, baka ma James Deakin ako. And I thought, dude, that's awesome, man. It's like, he was just, it made him stop and think, oh, shit, I might end up
do
on his
something
page.
illegal.
Yeah, I might end up, exposed. Somebody will post me
Yeah.
and I'll end up on James Deakin's page. And I thought that was a pretty great way, I thought, of influencing behavior. Because I've always felt if you could influence even just one person in the right way to just not do something stupid, like not drink and drive.
Yeah.
If my whole entire career just saved one person from killing somebody else from drinking and driving, that's it. I can't even. I'm not even going to count all the other things that just that alone. So to hear that was like, okay, it was
It's a
worth
ripple
it.
effect also.
It's a ripple effect,
right?
Yes.
That's a nice contribution. You're improving the driving transport road situation of the Philippines, which
Safety.
needs a lot of improvement.
I felt like I felt like basically a human CCTV. I'm watching you,
watching you
I'm
guys.
always watching.
What's your pet peeve?
Oh my god!
Like when you're driving,
you got to
like,
narrow
oh
that
my
down.
God.
To narrow it down, the pet peeve in drive. So many, but
The number one when you see it, like it just ticks you off. Like fuck this guy.
I think the wang wangs. I think the wang wang.
Oh,
Yeah.
same.
Because the wang wangs for me are so. Yeah, you see my balahibos are already starting. Because the wang wangs are literally, it's in your face. It's so in your face,
Yeah.
like.
Get away.
Get away.
Let me
Yeah,
pass,
we are
let me
more
pass.
important. Yeah. So it's so blatant. It's like, how can this be so blatant? Like you're literally, how can you expect anyone to respect or follow the law when it's the lawmakers, most of the times, right? It's the lawmakers doing this. And it's just so in your face. There's nothing subtle about it anymore. So tolerating that is just gets me, no, because you could do that. You could stop that tomorrow.
But
It's
then
not
you
like
still continue doing it.
there's so many other problems you have on the road that, okay, you can say the discipline. Okay, discipline. It's easier said than done.
Yeah.
You can't click your fingers and then everybody's disciplined. There's certain things you can do to help. But you could click your fingers and say no more wang wangs because Pinoy did it.
Yep.
Right? And he wasn't necessarily known to be the strongest, hardest, toughest president, right? But if he was able to do it, come on.
Anyone can do it.
Anyone can do it. So there's just no political will to do it. And the thing is, it's no political will, but what message are you sending out? That really gets me.
Yeah. I hate those escorts.
It's the escorts. It's the
Escorts,
escorts.
like they do that
That's
on the
it.
road. Like what the
The way
fuck?
they drive too.
You know what I do? I see them behind me. I'm not fucking moving.
No.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Have you ever been like your mirror or anything?
No,
been-
never.
It
But my
happens.
wife always tells me, "Can you stop
They
it?"
hit the mirror.
No, I've had my
Oh.
mirror kicked. Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Because of
yeah,
it?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, because I'm like that. I'm exactly like that. I'm like, I'm not moving,
Yep. No
I'm
way.
not moving.
My time is as important as yours. Not
Yeah.
the same. I mean, you're not in a hurry. No one's gonna shoot you or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Some of them, they look like they might actually shoot. But I mean, now I'm calmer. But, when I was like younger and I used to argue with them. I used to, because I hate it. I also, another pet peeve is, the counterflowers, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's like really, oh my God, that's so blatant. People who block intersections.
Yeah.
Because the blocking of the intersection is like, dude,
You could have
you
stopped.
wouldn't have lost anything.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have lost anything if you just stopped right before the line, than stopping in the middle of the intersection. But now nobody can. Now we all lose.
Yeah.
Everybody. It's like you're telling me I can't go anywhere, so nobody else can, and that's so selfish. It's just so
True.
And it's so, and I hate the way they sit there pretending like they can't see you. They check their phone, pick their nose.
This just in. Sour Taste is your new favorite listen. Expect bold takes, unfiltered conversations, and the kind of flavor only Sour Taste can serve. Stay updated. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell on Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok for more updates.
Have you ever put your windows down and be like, come on?
I have to be very careful because,
Camera phones everywhere.
Indeed, I've had the odd situation where I haven't yelled, thankfully, or I haven't gotten, road rage, but I put the window down. They're like, "Oi, Sir James," and you're like, "Oh God."
That wasn't the message I was trying to get across.
Exactly. So I get very, I cannot. I have to keep telling myself no, because you remember, it doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter online. It's the context and how when they pull it out of context, that's it.
How you're perceived.
Exactly.
Like,
So I just have to tell myself, don't engage. USA. And tint.
You said when you came to the Philippines, you did radio, and then during that time, zero cars, zero transport-related stuff in your head.
I didn't have a car. That's why I was broke as shit. I didn't have a car. It was funny because I really wanted to come back for radio. That was really the only thing that, because my mom and my brothers moved back here, so I was the last one left in Australia.
Okay.
But I was still okay. I was like, that's fine. I'll just visit and whatever. But I've got a little small business washing cars. That was my last job there. Okay. It was a franchise, and I had a little trailer and mobile car detailing. One-man show, but they're honest pay. In Australia, blue collars, they pay well. I was doing fine, and it was like great. Then I came over for holiday here just because my friend got married. And so I came over. My mom, she went all out, dude. She red carpet, like, because she was really courting, trying to, she was really,
come home.
Yeah, come home. Where's that fortune teller? But she's like, come home. I was like, no, Mom, come on, I'm fine here. It's like, hey, please, come on. You're not the last gooseling left. That's not in the nest. And I'm like, wow, I'm 26. And she's like, no, please come over. I'm coming over for holiday, right? Yeah. Just holiday. That's it. Okay, sure. Holiday's good. Good. You come over. So I did. I went over, and my mom, she was like, she had just started a catering company, right? Which is what she used to do in the 80s. Yeah. So not a new thing for her. Yeah. And the catering service was like fine dine. Well, she was known for it. So she had, she really had good food and good service and stuff like that. So she brought her whole team together. Cut the long story short, how it affects me is that I'm living in Australia. Remember, 12 years, from 14 to 25 or 26. I'm there, right? So I'm there, and I come back here. I may as well be new here because you kind of forgot everything already. And not just do I arrive over and not just do we have help, we have waiters in the house. Because they lived in the house, right? Because they
lived with you, the workers.
Yeah. There was a big house in Ayala, Alabang, and it was so they would live there. Yeah. I mean, because you were also starting out, it was a way to also save money. So she had a core team. So my breakfast was brought like a hotel,
Sir James.
Yes. Sir James. Sir. Yeah, exactly.
And you were like, this is the life.
I'm
coming home.
Exactly. I was like, what the hell am I doing? I'm so massa in Australia.
I cook my own food.
Yes. And here, everything, I asked for a hammer one time. A hammer. It came on a silver tray with a doily and a hammer. And I was like, my God, what am I doing in Australia? But, you know, I call that like my mom and Ayala Alabang can be a very insulated experience, you know?
Yeah.
So you can't really, she didn't take me out to all the, pre-Skyway Patot. So, you know.
You're just here. It's
Yeah,
a
you
nice area.
just stay here.
Yeah,
you
stay
know?
here. It's nice out.
Exactly. So I was like, wow, this is great. And so I fell for it. And then I went back to Australia. I think 3 months, I packed up everything, sold the business, and moved.
Yeah.
And when I got back, she lost the house. Right?
What?
No, seriously, she lost. I mean, it was just bad timing that you know the business wasn't really doing that great, and so the house. So from Ayalabang, we were now in Pasig, and I remember calling. God, that was a screensaver. You know, on your computer, you got that beautiful beach or whatever, and you move the mouse, and then it's an Excel sheet. And
I got to work on it.
Somebody move the mouse. Who moved the mouse?
No more waiters.
No more. Where are the waiters? They didn't fit in Pasig, so you know, I had to get my own coffee now. It's like this is not. I was born for better
my
things,
God.
you know. But I was stuck. I already moved, you know. So my mom is a master saleswoman. She really got me like hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
But if it was one thing that kind of drew me here to finish off the reason for the cuento was I really wanted to do radio. And in Australia, it's a very, gate-kept industry. And I didn't have the proper accent, right? So, I mean, why are they going to give our job, a highly sought-after job,
without Australian
to
accent,
some immigrant-looking... I mean, I speak with an American accent as far as they're concerned. And I mean, I could put it on, but who wants to put it on? You want to hear it? You want to hear it?
Sure, go.
PMFM 92.9.
Yeah.
The home of rock and roll.
You practice that all the time before?
Well, I mean,
you tried-
I
you
used to
auditioned?
because I had clients that were radio station. I would wash their cars, and so I mean, I would see the booth and stuff. I remember being like, "Oh, I want to do that," and I would hear the radio announcer. See, of course, you'd be listening, and then you'd be driving to the radio station. Then you'd see the guy, you get all killing, and then so I wanted to do it, but of course, very gate kept and no chance. But then here,
There's a huge opportunity here.
there was a huge opportunity. So I came back for that, and I gave my cassette tapes. You know, had to make a demo tape. I was in a wardrobe in Pasig in that house, in a wardrobe, you know, with a little cassette tape, you know,
Recording yourself.
doing ad libs and stuff like that, and then I would send the tape. Nobody got back to me and stuff like that. But eventually, I got a break, and then I
At
realized
what radio station?
my first radio station was The Hive 100.3. Yeah, I was Jimmy Cricket on The Hive 100.3.
So that was your name,
Jimmy Cricket, yeah. Because The Hive was conceived like as a insect. We were all insects. The hive, but so it was a hive of activity. Yeah, I was Jimmy Cricket. We had Rick the Tick. Vito Mosquito was there. You know? Yeah, it was we had.
Were you the one? I know in radio, you're not the one who names yourself. Usually it's someone else.
No, I named myself.
Oh, you name yourself.
Okay.
Well, we were all because I joined when it was brand new, so it was a whole new concept. So, yeah, we were like, they said, you better come up with a bug name, and I was like, well, James, Jiminy Cricket, Jimmy Cricket. Yeah, exactly. Because I was playing on the Jiminy Cricket, which wasn't. I didn't put the Jiminy, but. It's familiar now. It's instantly familiar. So Jimmy Cricket on the Hive 100.3.
Fun times.
It was fun times. It was fun times, but the pay was really bad, dude.
I know we heard.
It was bad, dude. I was like, oh my God, I can't raise a Cabbage Patch doll on this, much less a kid. And I mean, 8,000 was the starting salary there.
Oh, you had a kid then?
I had one. Yeah, I had a kid in '99. So. I was already like, I can't be.
This won't work.
I mean, it's designed because here was, I don't know how it is now. I haven't checked, but during that period, it was really the industry was designed for college, people that left college or in college, living at home. Yeah, look, dude, if you earn 8,000 or 10,000 a month, and then on top of that, you have your gigs on top of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're only there 3 hours a day, and it's a glam job. So it was great. I mean, they had no shortage of people doing that. And yes, they would have an endless stream. I just wasn't in that demographic that could make that work. Not at 8 to 10,000. Even when I was raised up to 12,000, it was like, okay, so still not
Doesn't
enough.
cut it,
Doesn't cut it. So, and then I was looking up the ladder too. I had to look through. I was thinking, okay, who are the people ahead of me here, and how are they doing? And I was like, no,
I don't think I'll be able to replace them.
It's not even replace.
I mean, if I get there, it's still not.
It's still not.
enough.
That was the worry. It was still not. And so I decided that's. I was up for renewal, and I remember thinking, if I sign this contract, I'll probably stay here for the rest of my life because comfort zone there. Because I loved the job. It was nothing else except the pay, and also you'd have to make it up with all the other gigs, the nighttime stuff like that. So that's when I decided to just hard stop, and then do the writing.
Years in the radio, how many years?
99 to 2001. So only 2 years.
2 years.
Feels like a long time, but it was only 2 years pala.
But you were in your comfort zone.
Oh, super.
And then you felt, if I stay here, nothing's
on
going to
that
happen to
all
me.
the
I'm just
way.
going to be this person for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
So you need to take that leap of faith.
I have to. Because,
And that was writing.
well, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I just knew I had to force myself off the cliff, like take that step, because if I don't, I know I would fall into a comfort zone. And even though I didn't have a safety net, I had nothing else to do. I also knew that I need to shift shock this into the right direction. So I stopped it, and then the desperation kind of sends a call out to the universe. I really believe energy plays a very big role in everything. Yeah. So you give, there's energy all around us. And I'm not even like a crystal sort of, guy. I'm just like, energy's real. Whatever religion you believe in, it transcends all of that. It's energy. And if you don't give it direction, well, because it doesn't play favorites. Energy is just there. So you have to give it a direction. And by giving it direction, you have to make decisions. And so I made that decision, and sure enough, the energy kind of flowed there. Boom. I got a call from a childhood friend that said, hey, we're starting a car magazine. Maybe you want to, remember as a kid, you used to love cars. I said, yeah, I still do. I don't have one, but, I love them. Yeah. And he goes, well, would you want to try writing? And I said, okay. But I was like, damn, I didn't know how to tell him. I said, I didn't even finish high school in Australia. So my highest grade was first year. I never got to finish because, times are tough, and my mom was
you
single.
Needed to work.
I needed to work.
Fend for yourself, your family also.
Exactly. So at 14, I was already full time washing dishes there in a hotel called Crestwood Motel.
Shout out to Chris.
Shout out Crestwood. Yeah.
First paycheck. Oh shit.
And it wasn't like a 3-hour motel. I mean, it was our clientele were busloads of seniors that would seriously, that was our clientele. They would come in there, and I would wash dishes and stuff. And so I got kind of stuck in that. Okay. So I remember thinking, well, I don't know, I'm not qualified for this, but I don't think they know that. And then but I said, look, I don't know, man. I'm not really qualified. And they said, well, neither are we. And that was true. They were, what was a blessing was it was a bunch of guys who were all like me. It was just pure passion. None of them had publishing experience, writing experience, no other experience except they just knew what they wanted and they didn't have in the market, which was, I want to pick up a car magazine.
At that time, there was nothing like that?
There was nothing like that. The only coverage, this is 2001, so the only coverage that they had, there was a magazine out there that was just kind of printing out the press releases. It was a thin one, like about this thin. So it wasn't really doing like proper reviews. It was just basically what the manufacturers were giving them, no? So with us, we were the first magazine at that time to come in and just sort of like really passionate, speak about cars the way we wanted to. Yeah. We were our voices were unencumbered, which is great because none of us came from the industry. So that was our advantage. None of our voices were owned or encumbered by anybody. Yeah. We were clueless. That actually helped us because if we knew what we knew now, we probably wouldn't have started it. But because ignorance can be bliss, we kind of just jumped in and then just did it. And everything was just like, all of our grammar, everything was shocking. but the passion, you could really, it was seeping
you
through
can
the
read
page.
it, you can
You
feel
could feel it.
Okay.
Yeah, so
That's interesting.
exactly. So people were willing to gloss over the, okay, so he can't spell. So what? You know?
That went to print wrong spelling
Oh,
stuff.
dude, really? Our joke. The magazine was called C.
Yeah.
The letter C with an exclamation mark because we couldn't misspell that.
Okay.
That was the only thing we couldn't really misspell, and that's why we called it that. But yeah, I mean, it was like the editor at the time said, "Listen, we can get people to proofread, but we can't get people to speak from the
heart.
with authority and from the heart and
Guys,
stuff like
car
that."
lovers. Okay.
And so eventually, you polish up and stuff like that. But it was a big enough shock to the industry at the time to really put us on to it. Really, wow, we created a brand doing that because people just were like, wow, this is great. Before, they wouldn't even test drive cars back then. The industry was just not like that. It was just like you go to your Toyota dealer because your Lola went there, your dad went there, your Tito went there, everybody went there. I think it's in the Constitution. It's probably written in there. You have to buy a Toyota at some point.
Your Lolo has one.
Exactly. So you don't ask anymore. It's just sometimes you get lucky if you get choice of color. It's just you get what you get. Okay, but then because we started that, we felt that we were able to at least give the consumer this power back, and then car companies started offering test drives. They started offering promos and stuff like that. And it was the timing was also right. And then we grew into this.
It flowed through your magazine too.
It flowed through. And then the media started picking up. And then we started getting competition. And these competitions started leveling up. So we started leveling up. And now it's like full blown. I mean, everybody's a car influencer now.
Actually, I like those videos where they take a video of all of the specs of the car
In
the
one
dashboard in one
It's
go.
like in a one shot.
Yeah.
I really like those too. There's a couple of guys who do it really well.
And I'm like, I want to ride this car right
I
now.
know, right? But their style is so like
style is
it's got a thing with a thing, and then
the thing does this,
and then
and then
how long did you
editing.
practice that?
Galing. I'm
Yeah.
impressed, like how they thought of that too. Like one shot, let's go.
No, that's really good. Credit where credit is due.
Yeah.
That's where it's at. It's like the way I see that is the internet is just it's all noise, right? So you need to find a way to break through that noise, and that's why little stunts like that it'll just pique your interest enough because the information is endless out there. You can chat GPT it, grok it, Google it, go to the manufacturer's website. There's nothing an influencer can tell you that you can't get yourself, except their opinion, or they excite you in some way, shape, or form. They light a fire under you.
It's clickbait too.
Yes, because that's the hardest thing. They say that the most valuable thing nowadays is data. I don't think that's 100% correct. I think it's attention. Attention, because you can't get the data without the attention. So attention, we're living in an attention economy, and that's where it's at. And if you can get their attention, you can convert it to data, and then data is more valuable than oil.
So in terms of cars, what would you title yourself? Enthusiast, expert?
No, enthusiast only.
Enthusiast only. Yeah.
Enthusiast, because expert, no. I mean, cars are so subjective. And let's face it, it's not like they were before, where, if maybe in the 70s I could say, okay, this is a good car, that's not a very good car. But no, come on, nowadays it's an appliance already. They're not, and they're all got 7-year warranties and stuff like that. It's not that hard anymore. It's not rocket science. You have all this shared technology now, technology transfer. The difference between brands, you don't really need the expert anymore. But I'm passionate about them. I know what I like and what I don't like. And that's it. Some people, it's not that they're looking for, is this a good, like the spec wise, they just want to feel the endorsement. Like, they support my decision because I want this car. I just want somebody else to seal the deal for me and say, good choice, buddy. That's it. That's all they're looking for. And they're emotional purchases.
Yep.
True. I feel like I deserve this car. What do you look for when you buy one?
Well, now I look for, of course, you've got the practicality is very, very important, right? So I look for everyone's got a different reason. So I'm not saying that what I'm saying is the correct way.
Yeah,
because
of course,
everyone's
of
got a
course.
different station of life. Because you could be leasing a car. Why would you wouldn't use my criteria? Why would you, right? If you're leasing from a company and they're paying their whatever thousands a month, you just get the latest one and just keep.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. But in my situation, I look at so I got the Land Cruiser because I feel the Land Cruiser is the best car for this country. It's got everything. Yes, it's exactly. Because you can say, oh, the best car is a Lamborghini. Yeah, for in a straight line,
drive it
maybe.
here.
Yeah, exactly. You can't take it to the store, the shops, the groceries, stuff like that. So you have to be practical. Land Cruiser's got enough power, so you're not going to be bit in. Okay, it's not going to carve corners and stuff like that. That's your compromise. But really, where are we doing that? We're not doing that anymore. So especially at my age, it's like you prioritize comfort, safety, practicality. It's matipid enough, and that thing's gonna last. That thing's gonna last for forever.
True.
And that's gonna be probably the last car I'm gonna get ever. I've said that's my forever car now. I'll happily retire and keep that for 30 years or 40 years and hand that down. So I look for analog stuff. Because I don't like.
It's all digital.
I don't like those screens and those. They're just getting too big.
Yeah.
It's become ridiculous already. Like, everyone started with
Distracting or just
too much.
It's not a car.
It's an appliance already for me,
Okay.
or a computer on wheels.
Yeah.
And it's not just taking the experience away from you, but it's also. It's taking all of its soul away. It's like the reason that we love cars. Or I grew up loving cars, is I feel a connection to the machinery. It's this, what it represents, the freedom, the mobility. And if you're really in tune with a car, you feel like you're one moving part in the cog.
Yeah.
You're just another cog. You're just an equal part of that machinery. And you have to be as well oiled as it. You got to be in tune with the car. Now you're so disconnected. And it's by design. They're trying to make everybody like... They're anesthetizing the experience, and they're disconnecting you from it, and that's of course affecting the relationship people have with cars, and then they basically want everyone asleep at the wheel, and that's a metaphor also for life. It's not just about cars. They're trying to get us to be more dependent on everything, technology. Whether it's cars, whether it's in our jobs,
thinker,
yes, and then what happens to our value as humans later on? We are literally outsourcing everything so fast.
The technology.
We got to be very careful.
When I think about AI, like, oh my god, I don't need to think anymore. Sometimes.
There you go. And it's scary, the convergence now, because like with these cars becoming more and more advanced. We just came back from San Francisco like a week or so ago, and I was driving my friend's Tesla, and I thought it was pretty. I mean, I've driven so many electric vehicles, but
Yeah.
what felt different? Yeah, what felt different for me was, okay, I've driven. It's not about the test drive of the car. Driving a Tesla in San Francisco is an experience because it was born there, right? It was raised there. The ecosystem doesn't get any better than San Francisco for a Tesla. So it was my first time to experience the full ecosystem. And I was blown away. Because we don't get the same things that they get here. Superchargers are
are everywhere.
Everywhere.
As in, I search it, and then, okay,
by.
a few minutes away, okay, I can just charge. I can just chill in my car for a few minutes.
Watch Netflix. It's got the Netflix app already on it.
You can play games.
You can sit there.
You can make fart noises.
You can. You can do all of that. Yeah. It's amazing. And then this guy had the unique, his situation is 2014, 2015 Teslas. Now, I don't even know if it's all of them, but I know there's a huge batch of them at least. 14, and then it ended in 2015. If you bought then, you get lifetime supercharging free. So he's got one of these cars. That's why he was like, I will not let this car go. This car is just lifetime, bro. It's like, it feels like a glitch in the Matrix.
Yeah.
It does. Because you're like, this can't be right. Because we're driving around for a week with this car, right? We got the app, the Tesla app and stuff like that. And you're just like, okay, so I need to charge up. It's like, charge up here, you'll charge up for 12 minutes. That will get you to your destination, or this much to full. It's so easy and all that. And then he said, just don't go over, right? Just don't go over the limit. Meaning, if the charging limit stops at this, don't even go 1 minute.
True.
And we did. We went, one time, we jet lagged, we fell asleep in the car. And it really scared the hell out of me because for about 12 hours or so, we weren't sure if I had lost his supercharging for life. Because he was saying, "Guts, don't go over because if you go over,
then that lifetime warranty is gone."
That's what he was saying. That because they're looking for reasons to get these cars off the market. Yes,
warranty.
because it's already a commitment, no.
Yeah.
And he had one before that, and he bumped it, and the damage was less than $2,000. They wrote it off because they didn't want to. They just wanted him off the system. So he's a little praning about that. So the point of my story was, as awesome as it was, and it really was awesome. It was like an episode of Black Mirror. Because now I felt the control that they have over you. I realized how enslaved I was to this staring at the phone.
Go over.
Yeah, and will I be penalized? I didn't know because
It's very Black Mirror-y.
it was very Black Mirror.
If you go out of range.
Yes, exactly. Because everything I really saw the picture. It's like they know exactly where I am, how fast I'm going, how loud my radio is, what my input on the brake, the gas. I'm thinking if they decide to Black Mirror this shit, they can do whatever they want. They can geo-fence you.
Yeah.
They can stop your car. They can take you off the supercharging thing. So for about 8 or 10 hours or so, I didn't know if I'd blown it for him or not. He didn't know either, and eventually, no.
Luckily.
Yeah, he said, I think you get 3 strikes before they'll do that. But he said they'll definitely do it. They'll definitely do it. But that's why I was like, be very careful. Whoa. But my point was that it woke me up into thinking, this is the price of technology too.
Yeah.
And this is why losing my Facebook page, randomly all the time, you cannot be too dependent on it. Because what happens later on, you've seen how every Black Mirror episode starts and ends, right? Starts with, wow, that's a great idea. And then somewhere like, oh my God.
I don't want that to happen.
It's creepy, but it could happen if really shit hits the fan.
It will happen. And EVs are basically appliances. They're not, they're more tech than they are automotive. They're more appliance than they are car.
True.
So there's somebody there in China or Texas now, doing this, and they can just shut you off if they want. And that scares me. That's why the analog I went for, when I was going for the Land Cruiser, it was like, I want this as analog. Diesel. I want that. I want this, the black stain around the exhaust, I want all this, physical buttons. Everything's physical almost.
Oh, yeah.
You have a little screen. You need a little bit of your map and stuff, but everything has a corresponding steel knob, that you could just
can't control.
No, that they can't control. And that even if you have gloves on, you can, you know exactly what you're pressing. You have to go through sub-menus and stuff like that. And then it's a good old-fashioned diesel engine that will get you 500,000 to 1,000,000 kilometers.
Is there anything we can do, though, or it's inevitable that in 20 years, the car situation, electric na ba lahat? What's your... Or you think the Philippines as a third world?
Well, if you ask me, I'll chime into that. Like in the US, right? All of the charging stations are all around. Like, they're all accessible. Here, I feel like someone will steal it.
True.
Like, for sure. Like, the CCTV cameras in EDSA, dude, they put it there for a reason, and someone stole the cables. And
The end cap ones.
the end cap ones.
And that just
Pinoys
made-
can't have anything nice.
Naging wireless na. Yan ang sagot dyan.
Actually, that is the...
Wala niya. Sure, wireless na tayo. But
Good
yeah,
for you.
I see where you're going, and that is a genuine point. That's a genuine fear I have too. But I think we're having two different discussions here, because there is the climate side, the climate narrative, then there's the control narrative, and I'm more concerned about the control that they may or may not have. Now, the Philippines, it may take a long time for us to get there, but I'm not particularly fond of how they are framing it, and I get into a lot of trouble for this all the time, because, the car manufacturers, like, they want me to say the certain things about their cars, but I'm like, look, I have no problem with EVs. I like them. I drove a Tesla. I thought it was great. But I think you should frame it properly. Don't this, oh, you're saving the environment. Says who? Says what? Based on what? That's just narrative. Dude, that's narrative.
Yeah.
Because if you really want to break that car down, how much nickel did you use? How much lithium? How much cobalt?
Yeah.
And where did you get that? You got that from Congo, from China. These are places where they use children to mine that. Okay, so please don't get on that pedestal or on that high horse, that virtue signaling and stuff like that. Because there are enough advantages without selling that story. You don't have to do that. You can say, you know what, maybe the footprint is the same right now, but it will get better. But here's where we have advantages. Okay, it might have the same carbon footprint overall when we take in manufacturing, but look, when you're driving it, there's zero exhaust.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a story that they should tell.
It's a story because you can say that I can see value in Makati, Sucat, Muntinlupa, with congested areas where noise pollution and tailpipe emissions. I mean, if we could just spread that pollution somewhere else, that's like saying, look, I mean, I weigh okay, but if I could have my bill taken and put down to my calves, you know, if I could distribute it properly, that's an advantage, right?
Yeah.
So, yes, why don't you sell it like that? But no, this is what I don't like about the wokeness. It's like we go straight into EV equals your responsible. No, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. Come on, guys. You know, I don't like that binary black and white system where, you know, if you're MAGA, if you're this, if you're that, you're that, you're this. No, it's identity politics, and in this case, it's you're framing it through virtue, and who decides the virtue? Because we've seen so many counter arguments towards that. Just sell it for what it is, and people will still probably choose it. So that's kind of how I feel about that. But I also worry about the level of the control. But I don't think we will get there here yet because I don't think we'll hit that saturation point.
Yeah.
If it's really headed down that path, if it goes there, we will see places like San Francisco, Norway, all these countries where they have like 97% of their cars are EVs.
EV.
We're going to see it there. We're going to go, so that's the ending of the Black Mirror episode. Okay, I'm out. I'm back to a diesel. You know, so we might have, that might work to our advantage that we're a bit of a developing nation.
Actually, interesting and scary. I like the Black Mirror train of thought.
Yeah.
It's controlling.
But driving them, I'm just, if you take away take away all the narrative, take away all the they're freaking amazing. I mean, like I was like, damn, like that when you pull into, when you're coming into a freeway and you're trying to, dude, this is like effortless.
What I like about is when you release the gas,
the pedal.
What do you call it? There's a term for it.
Here they call it e-pedal with Nissan. That's a brand. But it's the same type of thing.
With Tesla.
No,
the one with
they call
Tesla.
it regenerative.
Yeah, regenerative braking.
One is regenerative braking, but yeah, I know what you're trying to say. It's a friction basically.
Yeah.
You feel the
when you're
let go of it. You're not coasting.
You're in control of that car.
For the people listening right now,
Yeah.
if you remember what it's like to drive a slot car, remember when you just with the finger?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
When you press it and then when you let go, it stops.
It stops.
So
That's how a Tesla is.
Yes, or a single speed bike, a fixie. Remember the fixie? Where there's no neutral. There's no. You can't just keep your foot on the. Yeah,
because it's gonna keep on spinning.
It's gonna keep on spinning. So that friction is basically when you pull off the gas, that friction generates more power for the battery and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I
love that.
They're so much
really
fun.
love that.
You see, without even the whole climate thing, you would get one probably.
Yeah,
Sounds like
Another selling point.
and so would I. Yeah. So would I. Just can you keep it honest? That's it. That's just be reasonable about it.
Because when I went to the States last year, me and my wife rented a Tesla. I was like, let's get a Tesla. It's cheap too. Like for a whole week, we paid 20,000 pesos. Not bad.
400.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, first experience with the key card. Like, ooh, this is fancy stuff. Like, very interesting. I started driving it. Damn, it's so different. It's so fast.
It's so fast.
It's so fast. I really went like 100 something on the freeway. I was like, I might get caught.
And it's so connected, like, because all of them come with connections, right?
Yeah.
That's a free connection to, I guess, Starlink. I'm guessing, right?
For
so
sure.
yeah, so it's not like on your cell phone.
Yeah.
Like I thought, okay, you connect yourself. No. So that's why I really appreciated driving in San Francisco, because you get that whole experience. So we were like, because we were roaming, of course, so you're using extra. Yeah. So he was like, don't use your roaming. I mean, you watch movies. Yeah, it's all. I don't. He said he doesn't even pay for the connection. I don't know if that's just his 2014-15 model, but he doesn't pay for an internet connection or the gas or electricity, should I say?
He bought it at the perfect time.
He
with
did.
a lot of perks.
No, he had to buy that second hand. He had to hunt that car down because his 2014 model had crashed.
Okay.
So he had to find another one that still had lifetime supercharging, which was so hard to find. And it was a guy from SpaceX. So that's why I was like, Luke, I'm not fussy with my car. You could put cigarette butts out on the seats. I wouldn't care. Just don't lose my lifetime subscription. And what did we do? Fell asleep in the car with jet lag. Grab it. Jet lag was so bad, but yeah, all's well that ends well.
So before starting the magazine, you just loved cars, but not yet that deeply educated, or you were?
Not like, I couldn't tell you the gap between the spark plugs of different models, but
you're not a mechanic, basically.
No. I've never been a mechanic, so that I've never been like that. Oh, I need you. Can you help me fix my car? I'm like, dude, I don't know.
No, someone else.
No. I can tell you about lots of things about the car, but I'm not going to tell you how to fix it. I know the basics, but not mechanical. Like I could even get under there. No. So my knowledge in cars was really just from my passion of cars.
Okay.
And I remember growing up as a young kid, I could spot models from,
Okay.
I would sit at the end of my street and I'd wait for a car to have
Like 99
this
something.
car.
Like
yes,
that?
yes.
Okay.
I would know exactly. Well, I was more like 79.
Not nine. That's a 79 Buick or something.
Brand new 79.
Okay,
Because that's a long time ago. But yes,
Getting that.
in theory, it was like that. And I just loved them. But I didn't really know. I couldn't pull one apart and put it back together. But the passion will take you very far, because like I said about those guys doing the videos, my job, or what I felt my job was not to tell them everything that I know about the car or they should know about the car. It's finding one or two things that would get them to want to know more about that car. Because when I started in 2001, there was already internet, so you could go to
and search.
Yes, but why would you search if you weren't excited?
Yeah.
Now, the BMW or the
more.
Toyota website was not going to excite you because, well, what else are they going to say about their cars? You know that's going to be. So it's my job to excite you enough to say, I want to learn more about this. And then you'll find out the gap between the spark plugs.
Okay, like user experience. Are your kids into cars too?
My eldest is. He is. The other two, not so. But my youngest, just today, went for his LTO license today. Student's permit. So he's got the last one too. And all. He's okay, but not like us. He's not. He's just like, passing, just a general interest in them, but nothing like us. Yeah.
Okay. How was James like growing up? Like how were you in your 20s? What would you do in Australia? Would you go out drinking? Because I asked Erica, I was like, what does James want to drink? Like, I always have to say, alcoholic or non-alcoholic? He's like, non-alcoholic. That's why we have the Jamba Juice.
How do you know there's nothing in there? No. I stopped drinking 10 years ago. But yes, in my 20s, I was I really enjoyed my drinking. I enjoyed smoking. I would smoke. I hit 3 packs a day, but I was probably a 2-packer. Yeah, a 2-packer is probably my norm, and then I hit 3. But my jobs were basically dishwasher first, waiter, lots of waitering, and then eventually as a karaoke DJ for a while.
How was that? A karaoke DJ.
Well, it was fun because over there was a different type of, like here our karaoke here is like private rooms,
you press it.
And private rooms, like you there, it's like a mini American Idol, right? It's like a talent show. It's not.
There's a stage.
There's a stage.
To go
and
it's the song I would like to sing.
And then there's a build up and there's a moment. So that's how they framed and sold karaoke then, because
Okay.
it was a new thing. This is 1990 when I did that. So it was a Japanese restaurant, but they were trying to sell it to also Australians. So they would sell, there was a stage, there was a DJ, I was a DJ, and I would hype up the crowd. So it'd be like, and now the next singer's coming up from table number 3, singing a classic Beatles song. Come on, guys, let's hear it. And then this guy, and then, they get up and they'd sing, and their friends, they think they're in a concert.
Yeah.
They have 3 minutes of fame. They don't get to sing 20 songs a night like you do here, but you maybe sing 2 or 3 in front of an audience.
And that's your moment.
And that's your moment.
You drink a few drinks,
Yes,
get
and
your
then-
liquid confidence, and
Exactly.
I'm ready.
Yeah,
Let's go.
be a rock star for
That's fun.
a day. It was a lot of fun.
It seems like fun.
So I had to
So DJ, host, hype man. Type
DJ, host, hype man,
announcer.
duet partner. I had to learn all the duets and stuff like that. But that was fun. I enjoyed myself a lot, and it gave birth to the hosting, because 5 nights a week, dealing with all kinds of people, you eventually learn the microphone skills and the hosting skills and stuff like that, and that served me very well. So even after karaoke died, that kept going for a while. And then so there was 20s, that was in my 20s. I did drink a lot then, smoked a lot then, started a car detailing, so I sold cars for a while.
Okay.
So I was a used car salesman. For your typical cliched used car salesman. That was fun too. Got to learn a lot doing that.
You learn from sales.
High pressure, but you learn. And then from there, car cleaning, detailing, and then boom, to the Philippines.
Okay.
But
So
I wasn't the
20s
wildest.
20s is when you became a father.
26,
First child.
First child.
Is that when you quit drinking and smoking too?
No, I quit smoking and drink. I quit smoking at 2002. And then I quit drinking 2015. So that
10
was
years ago.
10
Reasons
years.
for both?
July pa, so it's exactly 10
Whoa.
years, huh?
Hey, you. No, not her. You. This is a reminder to stay hydrated and drink some water. I love water. Do you love water? And don't forget to like and subscribe on Spotify and YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, and TikTok. Now, let's get back to the episode. Sour Taste Podcast.
What's the reason for the smoking? For
The smoking,
like cliche health lang ba talaga? I'm
no,
gonna die?
no, it wasn't even that. I mean, it was an interesting way I did it, because I was never planning to quit smoking. I was not the kind of smoker that said, every time you speak to a smoker now, it's like, oh yeah, I should quit. They know they should quit. It's like, but maybe next month or next week, whatever, stressed ako. I wasn't like that. I was like, damn, it's a legal product that I'm smoking. And 2000 was a different era, man. You could smoke in Glorieta.
Anywhere.
You could smoke,
I've heard offices.
There were still, I think, some
Colleges.
planes you might have been able to smoke
Festival
in.
Mall, you could.
Yeah.
The whole mall?
No, on the top floor. By the cinemas.
Yeah.
I think Glorieta's
I
a
remember
pretty-
walking
Really?
once or twice around Glorieta smoking. Hey, maybe it wasn't allowed, but I wasn't
no one told
stopped.
you.
I remember not being stopped, and I'm thinking, but yeah, say I would smoke in the car, smoke everywhere. So it wasn't, and I didn't have any health scares, or I wasn't like coughing. I wasn't feeling the negativity of smoking. Put it that way. So I didn't have any reason to quit. But I joined the magazine 2001, and I remember it was like my first year there was just it was fun, but it was chaotic. It was like really chaotic. Like there was this thing about, like, they would say, they called it deaconitis. To this day, my Instagram's called deaconitis. Yeah, deaconitis was like this rare disease that I had. That if anything could go wrong, it would go wrong to me, right? And so it made for great stories for the magazine, because it seemed like every time I went to work there was a story. It'd be like, oh, what happened to James in the months? Again, make cuento. And I'm like, guys, you wouldn't believe it. I was on the way to work, and these were true stories. These weren't like even made up. Like I was on my way to work. This I'll tell you this particular one. I was driving on the South Luzon Expressway roundabout Magallanes, going towards Makati, around where Shell Magallanes used to be, but on the Makati-bound lane, right?
Yeah.
So I'm driving there and smoking away in the car, second gear, traffic. You know, there used to be railway lines and a lot of informal settlers there. They cleaned them all out. But back then, full of informal settlers. And then traffic was really bad. So I'm smoking in the car, window down, of course, talking to my mom on the other phone, on my cell phone. Shifting with my elbow. Mr. Road Safety Advocate. I was young, so I was like, and I'll never forget this moment. I was driving like that, talking to my mom, and this hand comes into my thing, across my face, because I'm holding on the other ear, right? Across it, and grabs my phone. And I remember thinking, hello, Mom, tangin na namang globo. Wala akong phone. I looked in the mirror and I see this guy and he's running counterflow on the traffic. He's running through the car because we're on second gear stuff, first, second, that kind of traffic. Yeah. And I see him, he's running
back. Yeah.
I was in a barong. Stopped the car right there. I ran.
Oh shit!
Yes, I ran.
I didn't expect
chased
that.
him. Like I was running like that, like a scene from a movie. Yeah. Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Yeah, exactly. In a barong. And this white boy from oh my God!
What happened to him?
Exactly. I mean, are we living in this is a simulation? This is a simulation.
This is a prank.
Yeah. And so this guy yelling at me in the barong, yelling at, "Hoy!" And my Barok Tagalog, "Gagu!" Aking yan. And so running through, and then the guy jumps over. So he goes,
There's a fence, right?
There's a fence. Yeah. And he jumps over the fence, and then he goes over to the side where all his tropa is, right? And the guy holds the phone up and starts going, like that. I saw red. I saw nothing but red. I remember I jumped the fence, dude.
What?
No.
I had one leg over the fence like that. And thank God I heard like this booming voice from the sky. It was all in my head. It's like, I don't remember what else except I swear I heard this voice going, and then what? So say you make it over. And then what, James?
Okay.
And thank God it clicked. It was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's a freaking 3210, dude. Hey, but a 3210,
that was expensive.
That was a good phone.
That was it. I love that phone. Status symbol.
Yep.
And but the damage he could have done to me with that 3210, he just threw that. Bam! That's concussion straight away, man. Those phones are built to do some damage, right? So that's why they said they used to make cases for them to protect the floor. They don't build the phones like that anymore. Nope. So this guy, I remember, have that half leg over, and he's still doing like that. I was like, oh my God. Okay. Go back. Just let it go. What? Went back to the car. Oh my God, they're towing my car. Right? This
For sure you completely forgot.
In my bro. Hoy, Gagu!
That was fast.
Yes,
that was fast.
I guess there happened to be one nearby. It was just like, hey,
tow this car.
He just left. I just left the car there. Ran back, pleaded with the guy in the tow truck. I guess he saw my face and just probably thought, oh man, this guy's got bigger problems. So somehow let me off. So it was a series of these things happening. There was always a cuento like that. Always, right? And all of the guys used to get a kick out of it, but except my boss. My boss is he was my mentor, and I remember him calling me one night, late at night, and he said, one more story, one quick story. So there was also this, I was being interviewed for the Probe team. Remember? Did you ever remember? Yeah, the show Probe. Yeah. So that was like our 60 minutes of the day, that was big time. Yeah. Cheche Lazaro, I think was her. All right. So that was my big break. I thought, I'm going to be on TV. TV was a thing then, 2001. Yeah. I was like, I'm going to be on TV. I got interviewed. I was the foreign expert on,
the key opinion leader, the
token white dude, because they were doing a thing on road rage and they needed like a token white dude, and I happened to be a car magazine. Yeah, perfect, right? According to experts. And then it's like, road rage is bad, And so I was so excited. I was like, okay. So I called up all my family, told them, I'm going to be on the Probe team. This is the day. This is the time. Blah blah blah. Make sure we watch it. Everyone was all excited. And then I even remember waking up my kid, and he must have been, 2 years old, maybe 3 at the most, and kept him up like till 9 or whatever. They showed the thing. Dad's going to be on TV. Yeah, on TV. Sit him down, whatever, grab the popcorn, grab my beer, turn the TV on. As soon as I turned the TV on, this little plume of smoke just comes. What the hell? What happened? The TV just.
Oh my
I only had one TV in the house. That's it. My brother.
You know it's broken.
Yeah. I was like, no.
Big day.
You know, my brother had to he took a 36 exposure film. He took photos of his TV. What? He has 36 shots of me on TV.
Not even a video.
Not even a video. What happened video? You had to have a handy cam. I mean, nobody had handy cams everywhere. 2001 or 2, maybe 2 at the most. No, 2. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know.
I mean, they had handy cams, but not every household had
one.
It
Yeah,
was a
yeah,
specialty, and birthdays. And,
Yeah.
You know, it's not the kind of thing like your phone now. You just pull it out. No,
Taking
this.
stills of a TV.
So we even have an album full of those photos of me just.
36 shots.
36. Maybe low angle pa.
What timing?
So I was like making cuento to that story, and then so my boss called me up and he said, James, I've been thinking about you a lot, and these things that are happening to you, I said, yeah, well, and he goes, no, I mean, have you ever wondered why these things happen to you? I mean, like everybody else is, it's just.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting to the point where we're kind of nervous being around you. Might get hit by debris, So he explained to me, he said, are you happy with where you are right now in life? And I said, well, things could be a lot better, He said, things could always be better. But the thing is, what I'm getting at is if you're not happy with where you are, and life is only about a series of decisions that you make. So where you are today is because you took a left here or right there and right here, left there, whatever. If you keep taking the same left and the same right and the same straight and the same U-turn, you're going to end up in the same place. You agree? I said, yes. Okay. Have you thought of taking a right instead of a left? What I mean by that is take stock of your life, look at your life and see what you can do differently. If you remove one thing from your cup, because you're asking for new blessings to come in, you got to remove something now. If the thing that you're removing has no value, anything that replaces that will be better for you. But more importantly, it will shock your life into a different direction. Have you thought of maybe perhaps quitting smoking? I said, no, Ken, come on, let's not go that far. No, James, I'm not picking on smoking per se. Far be it from me. I'm not preaching to you, but I'm telling you this as your boss, as your friend, and as your mentor. I look at you and I see so much potential, but I see that you're so kalat. And I see also that you're weak. I said, what do you mean? That's not, what are you talking about? He goes, James, wherever you go in life, you're selling something, right? You don't have to be in sales to be selling. You're selling your idea, you're selling everything, right? Okay? You want to have power over that other person, so you're trying to communicate something and sell your idea, sell your product, sell your whatever. They see that you are smoking like that. They see that you don't even have control over yourself. How are you going to influence them when you can't even influence yourself? Because I look at you and I think, this guy here, I want him to do something for me. All I have to do is keep you on that boardroom table for an extra 30 minutes, and you will sign anything. Why? Because your mind's already on wanting to smoke outside. I wouldn't do this if I didn't see how addicted you were to smoking. But try it, because it will shock your life. It's like you take a leg off a table, something's going to happen. That is such a big part of your day. Yeah. Every 15 minutes, you're out there smoking.
If it's like that.
Yeah. Think about it. Instead of being out there, maybe you're in here, and maybe you might have picked up an opportunity you would have missed because you were out there. It's the way he framed it for me. I'll never forget going, oh my God, he's right. So it wasn't health. It wasn't yucky smells. It wasn't the expense, because you, as a smoker, especially when you're addicted, you're going to justify all of that. But what he framed it for me was like, you have the power over yourself. It's something you can also tell yourself, because when you resign, you as a smoker, that's an identity. It's not just a habit. It's, I'm a smoker. I'm a drinker. You now have just changed that. You have the power to change who you are. Yeah. Do you know the psychological effect that can have, and the ripple effect that creates? I was like, my God, he's right. He's right. Well, what have I got to lose? So he said, you know what, James? tell you what, you quit smoking, tomorrow you have 100,000 pesos extra. I said, "Wow, you're going to give me 100,000?" He goes, "No, don't be stupid. I'm just saying,
Opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. You're guaranteed." So I said,
You get that extra 15 minutes.
and I started thinking, okay, why don't I just try it? What have I got to lose? Let me just try it. So I didn't smoke. The next day I woke up, I threw the pack out, and I said, I'm not going to smoke another cigarette ever again. This is it. Never again. And that morning I woke up extra early because, you don't sleep well the first time you quit. Your mind's going crazy and stuff like that. So I got up a little earlier than I normally would. I picked up a call I would have normally missed, and it was a guy saying, "James, I have. Are you busy today? Can you make it to my studio because my talent just pulled out?" Right? I said, "Okay, what's up?" He said, "Well, my talent pulled out, and then I need a host for this infomercial."
Okay.
Pays 70 grand cash. Kaliwaan today.
Bang.
I was like, dude, I'm there. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just be here at this time. Okay. I'm there. Wow. Oh my God. 70 grand.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So I was on my way there. I had my car
30
washed.
grand left.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 grand left.
30 grand left. I had my car washed. True story. I swear. Having my car washed right about Don Bosco, where that area where Walter Mart is now. Okay, there was a little car wash there. And as I was walking, to the Walter Mart to kill some time, I bumped into a guy. I swear, this guy I hadn't seen in like 3 or 4 years. This guy owes me 30.
No
I'm not kidding. He owes me 30,000. He's a talent guy because I was doing commercials and stuff.
This
He had
isn't real.
I'm not kidding. He got so bro, I
owe you nga pala.
Did you change your number? No, I didn't change my number, but I said his office was there. I took me to his office, paid me 30,000 pesos. Do you know what? From that moment on, I was like, if I ever pick up a cigarette again, I deserve all the bad things that will ever happen to me. After that, it didn't matter anymore. I just couldn't anymore because I couldn't change it was too powerful.
That's crazy.
It was, yeah.
But you know what? Even without the 100 grand, that just happened to be a freaky thing. But even without the 100 grand,
Right.
he is so correct. It shocked my life, and it just put it into a different trajectory completely. And he's correct because now, every 15 minutes, I'm having a cigarette. How much did my life really change? Like it changed a lot. So then 2015 came around. I hit a plateau in my work. I left the magazine, tried to build my own brand, had a pretty shitty first year, was not good. Lost quite a bit of money, lost a lot of time and stuff like that. And I remember thinking, I'm doing okay. It wasn't rock bottom or anything like that, but I was plateauing. I was hitting this wall.
Always here.
Exactly. And I soon learned after that, it's like, well, life is up and down. Volatility is life. Because even if you look at the heart meter, right, it's like that. If it's flat, you're dead, right?
Yep.
So this is fine. Don't fear the ups and downs. That shows that you're alive.
That's a nice way of looking at it.
Be afraid of the plateau. When you're standing still, that's because you fall into comfort zones. That's when you get really campante and stuff like that. You accept it because you get paralyzed with fear. Yeah. I don't want to move out. The enemy of great is good. I'm in a good spot. I ain't going for greatness anymore because safe. I just protect what I have. But nothing's shifting, nothing's moving. And I could feel it. I was like, I need to do something. And then I remember 2002. This is 2015. So 13 years later, I'm like, well, that smoking thing really did change my life. What can I give up now? It was pretty damn obvious, but I was looking for anything else but drinking. I was like, onions. I'll give up onions. It's like, you don't even like onions. Aren't you allergic to onions? Yeah, that's not the point. I'll give them up. No, it has to hurt, and it has to matter, and it has to be a pretty integral part of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just give up, daffodils or something. You got to give up something that really...
That's significant for you.
And it was significant. I was drinking quite heavily at the time.
Okay.
So habit forming. I was drinking every day, and it was like a happy hour. And our culture celebrates it. So I was getting stagnant. Again, I'm not hating on cigarettes or alcohol. Yeah. It's to each his own. And if you can moderate, good luck to you. You don't have anything to worry about. But I wasn't moderating anymore. So it was starting to become a lifestyle for me. So this is what I knew I needed to break. But I was kind of like, oh, God, it's the last thing I wanted to give up. But he's right. He was no longer in the picture, but I bit the bullet and I said, you know what, tomorrow I'm not. This is gonna be my last drink, and I just stopped. And I told myself 1 year long, just not to frighten myself.
Just to try it out.
Just to try it out. Just to try it out. I just want
sober.
1 year. Because somehow if you say for the rest of your life, you might panic. You might be like, it's a big change. It might be, and then you might think it's insurmountable, so just go back. So 1 year, just 1 year. I'll just do 1 year. And then I'd survived 1 year, and then it's like, maybe another year.
Okay.
Now I'm on my 10th year. And it really did change, because the ripple effect it has, again, I was a drinker. And to walk into a function, a cocktail party, event, anything, first thing I had to have was that beer.
You need that confidence also.
I need that confidence. I need that, and it's my security blanket.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that beer walking in, I felt like, then I started to think, well, man, this is, I was really worried, But it does change, because now all of a sudden, you're forced to break your cycles, break your patterns, and new things came in. And boom, from there, got CNN, and then started to just skyrocket from there. So now I'm looking for new habits to pick up, just to give them up.
That's the best way I've seen someone look at something to change. Like, I've always heard smoking, oh, my tito, someone died. This is unhealthy. It stinks.
No,
but like that
it
point
doesn't
of view
work.
is so interesting. Like,
Yeah,
you get
I like
so
how
much
you-
in terms of life because you save time, or like, galing.
And
Like your mentor said that.
Look, how many years later, I'm still talking about it, right?
yeah.
It's 23, 24 years later, and it's still fresh in my mind, because it did make a big impact. And you're right about the health thing and all that. My mom, she lost her father to emphysema, and she was there, bedside. And if you've ever lost anyone to emphysema, it's not pretty. It's one of the worst ways to go, because it's literally gasping for your
because you
last
can't
breath.
breathe.
You can't breathe. And that was 100% from smoking. 100%. Like, I mean, and she watched that, and she still smokes, and she's 80. She'll be 80 soon. She's 78.
Up to now?
Up to now. It's not, it's somehow not, it just doesn't. But then, and then with me, when people would say, you should give that up, that's bad for you. I'm like, because I was, but the way he framed it,
The
like, wow.
way he framed that
Yes, I was like,
whole
okay.
conversation, like the
It's like having a superpower in your pocket now, because you realize now, if I can do that, what else can I do? Because it's not hard, it's not easy, pala, should I say. Quitting smoking is very difficult.
Yep.
Quitting drinking is very difficult. Quitting any habit is difficult, but particularly alcohol and tobacco are one of the hardest things ever, because they're designed to be addictive, and they're perfectly legal products. So it's not like, with shabu or something like that. You're doing something bad, right?
and you can't get it easily.
You can't do that in Glorieta. But so you're it's hard. It's hard to convince, because what is too much? 6 beers for me was nothing. That was just a starter, But to somebody else, that was like, you're drinking too much. So it's boom. Having that ability to say, I could do that pala. I resigned myself to being a drinker. That was who I was. It was part of who I was. And now I'm not. So if I could change that, what else can I change?
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that.
Well, thanks for asking.
Very
me.
inspiring too. I mean, like, for someone like me who's, well, I still smoke every now and then. I still drink, but I'm gonna be a new dad.
Woo.
Yeah. Thank you.
First time?
First time.
Wonderful.
So I'm trying to prep myself to get into a certain mindset, and of course, like, we work regular jobs. I work for Zulik Pharma. Jake worked for SM. But like me, I know that I can't really, fend for my whole family just by doing this. I need to do something greater, something more. I feel like I'm in a plateau right now. That's why
There you go.
best way, actually, good conversation that how you brought it up, and I feel the same way. I'm stuck here. I need to do something more, something different. I'm in my comfort zone, and I need to get out of that to break through that wall. And thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it. Like, I don't have a mentor, but great you have a mentor.
I had one. Yeah,
Taught you so much.
Yeah, he did.
And right now, where you are, I'm sure you're thankful for it.
I'm more than thankful. I mean, I speak about this guy all the time because he really did. I think everybody needs their Obi-Wan Kenobi or their guide, no? Because he was like, he really taught me a lot. Not just did he teach me a lot, he demonstrated a lot for me. I remember he was more of a car fanatic than I was, right? He was the editor of the magazine. He was one of the owners of the magazine. So as an owner, as the editor, and somebody who was a little older than me and had more experience with cars, and he had everything like that. When it came down to it, I remember the first time we were given an opportunity in the magazine to drive a Formula One car. Can you imagine what that experience would be like? And you're a car fanatic. Like, how many people in the world get to drive a Formula One car?
The Mount Everest of like driving cars.
Yeah.
He says, James, I think you should go. I was like, Ken, why wouldn't you want to go to this? This is like, he goes, because James, you're the face of our magazine. And it's what the readers would expect. They don't want my opinion. They want your opinion. I put you as the face of, and I was remember that selflessness. And I even said to him, I said, Ken, aren't you worried down the track? Because he was always, making sure I got opportunities. He was always mentoring me, telling me how to create more value. Every time I'd ask for a raise, he would always say, create the value for yourself. Create that. What do you mean create it? Create so that I can pay you that. Like, give me, convince me. Give me a proposal where you're going to make that money up and stuff. So he would always make me think like that. And one of the things he said to me was about when I asked him, aren't you afraid that maybe one day I might leave? I mean, all of this for...
Yeah.
And he goes, leave for what, James? And I said, I might leave for something better. Then I've done my job. I said, what do you mean, Ken?
That's so self.
He said, well, don't you think that if you make it, like if you leave C Magazine and you skyrocket, don't you think everyone's going to look at me as like the university that made James Deakin? Yeah. And all of the James Deakin wannabes are going to come through me? Look how he thinks, right? He doesn't compete with you. He's like, I'm the college. Yeah. You're the student. I want you to do well. Because when you do well, it reflects on me. And then more people come through my company going, how do I... Yes, and then they will want to be better than me because that's how it works, right? Yeah. So if they're better than me, his company just keeps getting better and better and better. And then the next person, boom. And he was spot on. Sadly, he had to sell out from the magazine a little earlier, but he sold at the peak. That guy sold when C Magazine was absolutely flying. Yeah, and he's an architect by profession. Yeah. This was just a sideline for him. This was his passion.
And he was able to sell at the top.
He was able to sell at the top, and he built that. He built that really into what it was. And I remember thinking that maturity. I mean, that's it. To this day, I speak about him with so much affection because it's true. I really do. I think everyone should have that. I admire him a lot, Because there's so many times that you think, I mean, we're human, right? So you see them competing with their own staff or, not giving up. This guy was like so loved. And because I felt when I joined the magazine, he was the one that I really related to because everyone else was really well off already, I mean, they didn't need this. He had the architectural firm, but he, like me, well, he finished school, he finished college, but he also flipped burgers and he also sold cars in the States. So him and I had the same, like he was flipping burgers in McDonald's, I was washing dishes in the motel, and I was selling cars, he was selling cars. So I knew that this guy was grounded. This guy was like, and I could see him, and he was very tisoy. So he went from America, came back here to the Philippines to try and make us an architect. And I remember him telling me stories that they would be walking around with their big rolls of, blueprints and stuff like that, catching jeepneys. Now he said, that's not easy when you're trying to sell like multi-million peso designs and stuff. And that kind of...
There's grit.
There's grit. And one last story. This will really wrap up the whole Ken story. Is what really solidified my respect for him and who he is as a person is when he offered me the job in C Magazine. He said, we can only afford to pay $10,000 a month. I was like, dude, I left the radio because it was 12, right? Because that was too low. 12 was too low. I mean, but 10.
-2.
And he was like, oh, well, James, we're a startup, and this is but we can make a deal. I said, okay, well, I'll tell you what, I want to do this, so I'll accept the 10, but I need to have flexibility with my time because I'm going to have to pick up some rackets along the way, right? I can't give up I'll do some radio, I'll do some voiceovers and stuff like that. So as long as you're not, he said, no, we're good with that. And the only other thing is I need a car. Just any car. I don't mind it, right? I don't think you want your managing editor going around, commuting and all that. Managing editor of a car magazine commuting doesn't sound sellable, right? He goes, okay, you have my word. We're going to get you a car. And remember, everyone else had like multiple cars in the garage. This is the only guy that was like very sort of trying to make it, right? After about a month of, trying to get me a car, he had to come clean. And he said, James, I've done everything. We've looked at leasing. We've looked at everything. And I just can't seem to make it work. But a deal's a deal. And he gave me his car. I said, Ken, no. Come on, this is ridiculous. No, James, a man is only as good as his word. Yeah. I made a deal. I said, Ken, that's your only car. I know.
That's his only car.
That's his only. Well, he had 2 cars. But his wife
would use it
because they had
work or respect.
3 kids and a business outside. So yes, the Star X was the Harabas, and the Corolla, 93 Corolla or 92 GLI was his. It was his wedding car. That was the bridal car. Yes. He handed me the keys and he said, I was like, no, James, a man is only as good as his word. Remember that. How are you going to take anything I say seriously if I don't even honor this? And I took that car, and I remember thinking, this is a guy I would really want to work for.
And you'd want to learn from.
Yes,
too.
and I did. I learned a lot from him, and Then, so of course, when he told me about smoking after, you can imagine how much the weight of his words were. It wasn't anymore just your boss. This is somebody I really respected and admire.
You wanted to learn from him on a constant basis.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd had conversations, ask him questions.
Yes,
wow.
yeah.
You're lucky to have a mentor. Not a lot of people have.
Not a lot have, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of mentors, I had this plan you're an older man compared to us, and then Jello just mentioned he's about to be a father. You were a young father in your 20s. Do you have any overall tips, advice, warnings for this upcoming
tips
dad?
And tricks?
Yeah.
You're gonna figure it out. You can't. I can't give any tip. One is
there's no blueprint for it.
There's no blueprint. There's no blueprint. And even if I gave you a blueprint, you're probably no. You're just gonna have to figure it out. That's what makes it magical, is because once you have a kid, you'll realize how the word permanent takes on a different meaning, because your life will never be the same again. But having said that, it will get you to do things you never thought you were capable of. In the same way that they say, people lift up cars when they're in a tragedy, they get superhuman strength. That comes from a different place. When you have somebody bigger than yourself, you're thinking about somebody more than just you. You have a higher purpose. You will dig into deeper spaces that you cannot identify now. So even if I told you, you wouldn't relate. You'd be like, no, that's not me, bro. You don't know that because you don't have the kid yet crying or needing you or whatever. And you will surprise yourself. And that's part of the journey. That's what makes it so beautiful, because it's your story, your journey. And you carve it out from yourself, and even you're shocked. You're even surprised at what you can and cannot, or what you can do. So enjoy every moment. If I was going to give advice, it's cliche, but it's cliche for a reason, because it's true. You really enjoy and embrace every moment, because you blink and they're grown up. They really do grow up fast. I know that's so corny because everyone says it, but I'm really sure do. It's true. Like I said, my youngest is now at the LTO getting his license. It wasn't that long ago when we were just he was just a little kid hanging around and
needing you.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden it's they'll go from that to they're going to go through stages. I said this recently on a podcast because through my own father, it's you'll go through the stage where they'll first it's idolizing you, then they'll demonize you. It happens, but then they'll humanize you. So that's usually the journey of a father, because you're going to be having to give up and make a lot of sacrifices and decisions that are not going to be easy, and from their perspective might be the wrong decisions, but you know what you have to do, and you know that you have to weigh out the compromises and the choices, and then one day they'll see it through your eyes and they'll be like, wow, okay, Dad. So just trust in yourself. You'll dig from a place that you never thought you had.
I needed that.
Yeah.
I was about to say that's very,
James,
very, very fucking
thank you.
inspiring.
Yeah, I love that.
That's a clip you're gonna play again.
I know I'm gonna play it
November,
again and again.
December.
November, December. Be like, what did James say?
Let's go.
But enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. Don't
I
forget
know I'm
to enjoy it.
excited. Of course, scared also because I don't know how to handle things. But
Big chapter.
Yeah.
like you said, it's a journey, and we're gonna go through it together. So.
And maybe if this is one thing I wish I did. Small thing. Write him an email every day or every other day.
About that. Yeah.
I've seen those things. That makes a lot of sense. And then on his whatever birthday, whether it's 12, 18, 16, whatever you decide, give him the password to the account, and then let him go through that. Because you're writing, you write him an email like he's.
Oh, but he doesn't have access to yet.
He doesn't have access to it yet. And then one day you'll give him that passcode, and then he can go through all of that.
All of your messages to him.
Yeah, and then I would also go as far as maybe if you could sound like I'm shilling, but I feel very strongly about Bitcoin. If you can just buy a little, buy a little Bitcoin.
You're
for him,
shilling.
Just a little
goes
Bitcoin.
up.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
Crypto.
When you're 18.
Yeah, just to
No, I get it. I was into crypto before. Now I'm not so anymore because we lost money. But then I'm willing to get back into it again.
Well, I'm not into
harvest
crypto. I
You're
used to
into
be.
Bitcoin.
Yes, I'm into Bitcoin. I used to be into crypto,
Specifically.
but no longer. After the 2021, 22, 23. I mean, a lot of us got burned there. But Bitcoin, I doubled down on that.
No,
I believe in its decentralization, and it's different to crypto. But if it's not Bitcoin, just something to teach him him or her to invest and to just put something aside and learn the value of compounded interest, because that's the only. I promise I'll stop shilling after this. But the only thing that really makes me feel so strongly about Bitcoin is that it's decentralized, and it's something that the government cannot print. That's all it is for me. That's enough reason for me, because your money is just your time and energy in abstract form. That's all it is, really. There are many other descriptions for it, but essentially it's the time and value manifested in abstract form. That's what it is. So your time and energy, but somebody else can print that same thing. You got to put the work, they can print. That's like playing a video game with somebody with only lives. You're never going to win. You're never going to win. Yeah. So the system's rigged against you. It's there to debase whatever you have, and you cannot control that. So you go for gold. They say go for things that they can't be printed. Gold can't be printed, but you can still find more of it. Yeah. I mean, like, you can mine it. Like they say,
it's kind of hard.
No, well, that's the thing. It's hard. Well, that's why they call it hard money, because it's hard. It's hard. But then if gold went up to 100,000 an ounce tomorrow, they're going to blow up some asteroids. Trust me, they're going to find more gold. They will find more gold, because there's now the cost barriers made it worthwhile. If the real estate ends up to be a certain amount, they'll just reclaim more land, like they did in everywhere. Manila Bay, Dubai, Miami, everyone's reclaiming land and building more. So they can print land. Okay, it's small. It's smaller by comparison. But Bitcoin, if the price goes up to 100 million tomorrow, that's it. It's 21 million. Sorry. That's it. That's where I see the value proposition. Satoshi.
Anyway.
Okay. Mentor James, how about for the 30-year-olds or our peers and most of our listeners who are trying to make it, wanting to earn more, achieve more, and I guess figure out life? I know what's Mentor James gonna? What do you have to say to that?
Last thing before we end.
Okay. This is a very scary crossroads we're in right now, because we're on the cusp of AI, right? So I would think that a 30-year-old would have to find what value that they can produce that's going to be a little bit immune from AI. You got to do your own studies on that because you cannot ignore it for too much longer. Anything that can be done by AI will be done cheaper, faster, better. You're not going to be able to compete. Nobody's going to be able to compete. So I can't tell you where that value is, but you've got to look long and hard at where that value that you're providing is, because you cannot compete head to head with it anymore. That's what I tell my kids, because my youngest is now the LTO guy, or the one getting his license today, might take a gap year, probably take a gap year. I'm normally, as a parent, you'd be like, come on, but now I'm like, no, you know what? You do that. Yeah. You do that. I'm
Find
not
yourself.
Yes, I'm not going to push you. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to, take that gap year and really see how the world unfolds, because you're now going to see where your value lies. Because if you go through a course for 4 years now, only to become obsolete even before you finish that course, that's not going to help you out at all. So I have told him, and maybe this advice could be the same for your 30-year-olds, study the world, like pay attention, because we're in the fourth turning. We're in a new world order that's being constructed now. This happens every 80 years. So we're in that fourth turning now. So we've gone from the industrial age, now we're into this exponential age with AI and everything. So it will shuffle power around, etc. So you have to pay close attention. And that's why, sorry for the shilling, but Bitcoin is one of those things that I would be investing in, because it's outside of the system. It cannot be, AI cannot have any, AI will be using Bitcoin at one point. It'll need to, because that's the only way it can sort of transact on its own and have final settlement and all that. So I would start investing in something like that, like Bitcoin, understanding where your value lies and where it can be eaten up by AI, and stay away from that.
Create your value, as you mentioned.
Yeah. Because that's really what's going to be value. What value do you bring? It's what you're going to be paid for. So it's not necessarily going to be, like writing letters anymore, or writing scripts or legally. These things are going to be all. It's brought it down to nothing. Yes, it's scary. I'm actually genuinely very worried for the next generation. Now, this could also go two different ways. The utopian version of this, which I'm really hoping for, is going to be that AI will unburden us from all of the menial tasks that we don't want to do.
Yeah.
Allowing us, and of course, deflationary. It'll bring us into a deflationary environment. This is what I think they're hoping for in the U.S., because right now they're completely overhauling their financial system. They're going to have a new system. From the Bretton Woods system, they're going to have perhaps I think they're going to call it the Mar-a-Lago Accord, where they're going to rewrite the monetary system. So everything's going to be changing. And you've got to be really paying a lot of attention here, because one thing that they're, I think, hoping to do is, with all the deficits that they have, they say they're going to fight their way out of this with productivity growth, because everything's been measured on GDP. But GDP is human, right? Yeah. What happens when AI kicks in? That GDP, that figure won't matter anymore. We could almost use that productivity and growth to inflate away the debt or deflate away the debt. That's where they're looking at AI. So you have to be very, 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 keep your eye on the ball, because this is moving very fast. I can't tell you where it's going to go. All I can tell you is I'm watching in that space very, very closely, and I'm seeing because I could be redundant next week, next month. I mean, AI influencers are already a thing. And we might laugh. We say, well, who would want to listen to a computer? Well, after a while, you know what?
Kind of get used to it.
You kind of get used to it. Oh, you really want to take photos on a digital camera? That's not a real photo. You really want to date somebody on the internet? That's not a real date. Oh my God. Everything now is like, yes. Poof, right? So now when you think about it like that, it can happen so fast. That's why you have to pay attention.
True.
Damn, something to think about, 30-year-olds. One last thing before the last question is, at this age, congratulations on the success, the achievements. I'm still going back to that shock that you just, in terms of education, was just first year high school.
Yeah.
How
do you get the confidence?
Because usually the bare minimum is like a high school graduate, college graduate. That's a very inspiring story. that you
Yeah.
got to reach where you are now with just that? Like, what's the insight behind that? Street smart, parenting? friends?
Well, the insight behind it is, well, one, you didn't have a choice. So you were like, in the beginning, it was my biggest insecurity. So I was like, oh my God, how am I going to make it here without that, right? But then it actually, just like the fathering advice that I gave you, it drives you to do things you never thought you could. Because now there's value in concentration. It's like, I don't have many options. So you can concentrate fully on one thing. Because I'm not dreaming anymore. Oh, wait, I might get a better job as a banker. I might get a job. No, I'm not qualified for anything. So I got to make this work. So I really had to learn how to monetize my personality.
Yeah.
Because I had nothing else to sell. Nothing else. I was qualified. No, I had no paperweight. So I monetized my personality. Radio, writing, and eventually this. And then you do reach that point where, just like you said, it's like, first you're embarrassed, like, he didn't finish high school. Then you get to the point where, oh my God, he did this and didn't finish high school? Wow, that's cool. So, yeah,
nice thought.
You change the perception
you can
of
change
it.
the perception of it. You can really use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
You realize that everything that you're given in life can be used for good or for bad. I mean, you could really twist it around. And that made me force myself to really focus and realize that I don't have a lot of options. So the power of focusing and concentration on what you're actually doing, that helps a lot. Then, of course, there's like, you get this without a safety net, you operate differently. It's something very, like, I didn't have that family safety net at the time. My mom, like I said, her business went down as soon as I landed. So it was like we were all in the same boat. But it teaches you different things that you can't learn. Oh, another thing is, you won't learn anything from yourself really when you're successful. So it's really when you're going through this, is when you really, really learn. So embrace it, because it is a journey. That's all it is. That's what it's all.
a challenge that you have to go
up
through.
and down.
Yeah.
And just remember the up and down things.
Actually, yeah, the volatility that you mentioned.
Life is volatility.
If you are plateau, then you're dead.
Yeah, and don't fear the fear the plateau, not the ups and downs, because in the downs you learn things you will never learn about yourself in any other time except there. And when you're up, well, I don't need to sell that to you, right? It's pretty. You know how the benefits
When you're
of
up,
that.
you're up.
You're up. Okay. When you're plateau, that's dangerous. That's when you start picking up habits just to give them up. You shock your life.
Anyway, thanks, James,
You're welcome.
for your time.
How long did we
Appreciate
go?
all of the 2 hours.
Wow.
Appreciate the mentorship,
Grabe.
advice. Yeah, we always go for 2 hours, actually, just to get all the conversations in. And
Yeah, I didn't feel like it, but cool.
hope you enjoyed.
I did. I really did.
James.
I hope there's
James,
a
thank you.
part two.
I actually thought it was Deacon. It is. Or
Yeah.
Deaconitis.
A lot of
But
people like, is it Deaconitis? Deaconitis,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, I realized after, it's like, it does sound like Deaconitis.
got some crazy stories. I'm sure you have more.
But that works too. A Deaconitis works, right?
That's what I thought. I think it's Deacon. It is. But
saying,
like,
I think
I
it's
know now it's
Deaconitis.
Deaconitis. There's stories behind it. Thank you, James.
All right,
thanks,
guys.
James. Appreciate it.
Okay. Hold on, what's this over here? Okay. What y'all holding around right now? What, that's an M16? 22. Okay. What is this?
Black drip with the off-whites. My shit good like it's so nice. Now I'm sipping drink cause I hate wine. And I got the juice but it ain't mine. Yeah, I ain't lying. She got me so high. Gotta be mine. Shoot the 3 line. Never miss, get it this from behind. Switch up on the beat, got the green light. Yo, see me.